You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.
You've seen The View. You've heard all the real talk. Now have a seat at our table. A table for five.
Good morning. Good Wednesday morning. Is it hot? Oh, Lord. She's hot, then she's cold.
I thought you meant the air. I was like, ooh, the AC works on this little button. That's nice.
We're fancy, girl. We're fancy. You had no idea.
No, I'm just real sensitive. It's like loud. It's like one of those things. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait till I start talking, girl. You're going to turn it down a little bit more.
Good morning, everyone.
I know.
I'm like, where are we? What are we doing?
Yes.
Today is Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. Wednesday, December 12th, 2018, not in 2019 yet. It's almost over, y'all. It's almost over. But this is Table for Five. Welcome, everyone. To Table for Five with Felicia and Annette. I'm Felicia.
I'm Annette.
And she's Annette. And you are here listening and viewing us. And you, the listening, viewing audience, will always have a seat right here at this table to join in on our conversations today and every day and social media.
Yes.
We're on Facebook Live.
We're on Facebook Live right now.
Yes.
So if you're wondering what's going on, we'll tell you in a second. But we want to let you know our in-house housekeeping, how to get a hold of us when we're not on the air, and all our social media platforms, which are Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and our one-stop shop, which I like to call our website, which is www.table-for-5, the number 5.com. And there you could catch all our previous shows on our gallery page. You could advertise with us, and you could also join our newsletter that goes out twice a week. And all you have to do is put your email. We don't want anything else from you.
No, we don't want blood type.
Yeah, we don't want your social
Don't
security
need your
number.
money.
No. Nothing. It is just your email.
Yes.
And then all you do is get two newsletters from from us, letting you know what's coming up, who our guests are, how to get a hold of them, and other little tidbits that our wonderful associate producer puts together.
Yes. And if you have any questions, you can contact us. And someone very professional.
Yeah, we'll get a hold of you. Okay, and also, if you want to join in on this conversation, if you have questions for our wonderful guests, I know, Felicia's like fanning out.
I'm fanning, like I'm about to pass out.
Hilarious.
She walked in, she goes, I think I'm going to throw up. Yes. But if you want to join
throwing
in.
me under the bus, under the table.
It's the truth. If you want to join in on this conversation, you can call us at 818-570-5085 or go on we're on Facebook Live right now. If you're watching us on latalkradio.com, just hop over to Facebook Live at Felicia and Annette Table for Five. You can leave your comments, questions. Chola? Love it. Oh,
That's my sweater.
Oh. I'm like, wait, what? People are calling us names? Yeah. Okay.
Classy, yet real.
Oh, that's very funny.
Yes, that's
the
so
Chanel.
cute.
Oh, very funny. I just got it. Okay, so I guess people are watching. Thank you. You can go on our Facebook page, leave little comments, questions if you have any for our wonderful guests this morning.
Yes, and who do we have here?
I know. We have the one and only Anjelah Johnson-Reyes. Okay. See? Are you? Yeah.
You are waving to the
waving out the
window,
window in case anybody could see me.
It's like New York. You're like country.
I have a question. Is your name Anjelah or Anjelah? Because
It depends. Do you want to say it in Spanish or English?
Because of the spelling.
It's like just Anjelah.
Yeah.
But
because the spelling with
Spanish,
the J is
you can
Anjelah.
You can get as enunciated as you want to.
You could get real ethnic. You could get less ethnic. However you want.
Inquiring minds wanted to know. I just had that question.
I just say Anjelah.
Thank you. Okay, Anjelah Johnson's here this morning. Anjelah Johnson-Reyes is here this morning, and we are just so happy to have her. I have a million questions for you. Whatever you choose to answer, you can say pass, or you can
pass.
It's like a game.
But okay, so I really
pass
wait. I
something.
just have to do this. I just got to give this shout out. So I follow you on Insta Story like everybody else does, and so I've always wanted to meet Jackie.
Jackie, she's very famous.
I love her. I know you love her, and I think you're awesome. But I love her. I
Jackie,
love
come over
her.
here and get on camera so everybody can see you.
Come. I love her. She's the bomb, Jiggity. Like, she's the assistant you want to have.
Yes,
Jiggity.
yes, she
The
is.
bomb.
Yes.
Listen.
I know. I was more excited when she called me. I was like, oh my God, she's on the phone.
Let me tell you, Jackie has her own fan base now.
Is Jackie?
Really?
Jackie.
Jackie,
I thought it was Jackie.
Listen, you thought my name was ethnic? Come on.
There's no way to not be ethnic already.
I know. She makes everybody a star in Insta Story. You do, because she's got
Yeah.
her own little congratulations on your wedding.
Oh,
You see, look, she got
beautiful.
married this year. I follow her like such a
I think we might need to get her a stool and a mic.
I know it.
Thank you. So I just needed to get it out of my system because that was my
I
fan.
love that.
Oh,
I was just like all about
But
it.
listen, Annette does love a good personal assistant. Listen,
Yes,
this
I
one
do.
is hard
Yes.
to assist for.
I be
Like,
trying to keep Jackie on lock, let me tell
Yes.
you. People try to
Yes.
poach her, comedy clubs try to grab her from me. Everybody be like, oh, can I get your number? No, you cannot.
No.
Delete it,
I'm always
please.
looking out for one. I have a good one right now. She's great, but she's moving away. So that's, I'm like already like,
well, she is
Good
apparently
luck.
not available.
Yeah, relax. Okay.
So I wanted to ask you a real question before we get into all that you do, because it's in the news right now and it's also poignant and all this Oscar stuff that's going on. And I know
Yes,
you and Kevin
yes.
Hart have worked together because I've seen it
Yeah.
on your Insta story.
Yeah.
So how do you feel, not so much about his, what he had to say and his opinion and his decision, but how do you feel about the fact that comedians are being so censored?
Yeah.
Like if he apologized 100 years ago, then okay, you said you're sorry.
You want
But-
to premise and give the people what, like,
yeah,
what we're
I mean, I
talking
think
about?
everybody knows that the Oscars kind of offered, wanted Kevin Hart to host a show, and he put out some tweets 10 years ago almost
Right.
that seemed a little bit controversial. I don't need to get into all that, but and so they wanted him to apologize.
So they wanted him to apologize right now.
Right
Like,
now
once they
for
were like,
something he
here, we
did.
want you to host.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you do that, if you accept it, then we want you to
for
apologize.
something that he did 10 years ago.
A million years ago.
And he
was
said,
like,
I did it already.
Yeah.
And so he took a pass on that. But
so he decided to pass
Yeah,
on hosting. Or do
and-
you think it was like a record, like they were like, hey, maybe you should pass? What do you
I don't know. I don't know why he did. Like, I don't know why. Like, I just feel my opinion is I just feel like so much censorship.
Yeah, why did they
on
make a big deal
heightened-
about it?
I don't even know why they make a big deal about it. I think my question more is why is this heightenedness in comedy? Like you can't even make fun of the cop.
Right. It's as a comedian, it's a scary place because, and listen, I'm not even a edgy comedian. Like I do like a family friendly show, and I still am like have to think for 30 minutes before I press send on a tweet or
really?
before I say this joke, and it's just culture is shifting.
Okay.
And here's the thing, there's positives and negatives. You know what I mean? We're highlighting some real injustices that are in the world, some real racism that's in the world, some real issues that are happening, because in culture we're shifting and we're choosing to be more sensitive about certain topics, jokes, language, treatment of others.
But isn't comedy part of it is to make fun of that?
Sure. So that's where I'm saying it's like it's great that we're using our voice for good to highlight, hey guys, we need to change in this. We need to stop treating minorities like this. We need to recognize that women need to be treated like this. We need to recognize that. So that's great that we're using our voice for that. But then in the same breath, now we're being censored because we're making jokes about what we see. And I feel that a comedian's job is to hold up a mirror to society and show everybody what we see. And then now as comedians, we're like, hey, you can't say that. And I'm like, oh, I was just holding up a mirror, actually. But okay, I'll be the one persecuted because I'm the one who's holding up the mirror.
Got it.
But And that's a blanket statement that I just made. Every situation is going to be different. Every comedian, every TV host, every personality, every just random, executive in whatever company, every situation is going to be different. So it's hard to make a blanket statement, but I just feel we're in such a tough place as comedians who are supposed to make light of things, and now we're kind of playing this, what is this, double dutch? Like, where can we cross a line, or where can we walk the line? Because that's what used to be respected as a comedian is the fact that we can walk this line and still have love and still be respected and stuff like that. So it's just, and then also too, when you do take a risk as a comedian, it used to be just like, oh, well, I said what I said and it was a joke, but now it's, who you have to worry about who's going to have your back when the trolls come for you and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like you said, it's a fine line. That line has been like moved and shifted. There used to be kind of like this, you kind of were like, okay, I know where to go. I know how far I can go. And then to me, it's the issue of freedom of speech. I mean, everybody has their freedom of speech. And I just think it was wrong for the Academy to do that. Like, at the end of the day, if you wanted Kevin Hart to do it, and anybody that you pick, like, you also have to know that comedian and know their material.
Not everybody lives a perfect life. You might have said something that you regretted 20 years ago. I'm sure I said something or did something that I regretted, and if somebody goes, thank God that wasn't Twitter 20 years ago, because I'd be in a lot of saying the crazy stuff. I remember saying stuff in college that I think about now, and I go, if that's on tape, I'm so screwed.
Sure.
So it's almost like
we evolve, we shift, just like the sensors and everything shift. We as humans also, I'm not the same person I was 5, 10, 20 years ago, my teenage years. Oh my gosh, like, that's what I love to talk about.
If they asked you, would you take the job?
No.
You wouldn't want to do the Oscars?
No.
Really?
I would be, no. Listen, I would be so nervous. I would,
but that nervous energy, you could just put it out there.
But here's the thing, like, there's the nervous, like, I can get nervous before a show, but I wouldn't want to put myself through the scrutiny of, like, every word that I said, like, that joke wasn't funny. You know what I mean? Like, the media, the world loves to pick apart whoever hosts the Oscars, whoever, does this. What did we think about that person's opening monologue? Like, did they really miss the mark, or did they whatever? Like, why do I want to do that to myself? I don't need to do that. You know what I mean? This is what I want to do. I want to be in a movie that's nominated for an Oscar. That's what I want to do, please.
There it is.
Thank you.
Yes, put her in the movie.
Put her in the movie.
That's what
I always find it interesting too, like the news people that like commentate on it. So what did you think about their set? Like, are you a professional? Are you like going to every comedy clubs, like judging these people? I'm like, you do the news. Like, y'all need to stop.
Listen, I do shows for my fans that are so excited to see me. That's where I like to perform. To a warm crowd of people
that want to be there,
that bought their tickets in Houston, Texas. They bought their tickets 4 months ago. They've been so excited to see me. That's where I want to go tell jokes, not in front of an industry crowd. Thank you.
I know.
That's a little too much. And
they're not even thinking about your jokes. Actually, they're thinking about their category.
They're
like, hurry up, like get to the category.
Like, did I win or not?
Exactly. And then their clothes and all that good stuff. Okay, well, I mean, that's a fair commentary. I just thought, this is so crazy. I just like, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. Like, we have to like stop being so hypersensitive. I just feel like we're all being very sensitive to a joke. Listen, Joan Rivers, may she rest in peace, was one of the most irreverent comedians out there.
Right.
And I mean, she would say the craziest things, and it was hysterical because it was true. And I was watching somebody on Instagram, this other guy that's a comedian that I follow, and he says, people get offended by a joke, but they laugh at it because it's true.
Yes, at the end of the day, it is, and it's funny. It's funny.
Like,
just like let it go.
And listen, with all of this, I make no excuses or co-sign on anyone's what they may have said in the past, and it's just the fact that we're just sensitive, that's what I would comment on just in that. I don't speak on what this person said or didn't say or what that person said or didn't say, but just in general, yes.
Listen, you would make history if someone just said, come on, the most famous chola hosting the Oscars. Yes.
Hilarious. And then, and I want to be like, what's up, y'all? And then here go all the blogs. She's setting us back. We don't all talk like that. We're educated. I have my master's degree. Oh,
my gosh. Yes.
Okay, Lupe, we know. You have your master's degree. You worked really hard. I get it. Well, I went to community college, and I didn't even finish. So this is my story. Goodbye.
See, that's why you should do. I know. That's why you should do the Oscars. Just like shake it up a little bit. Like just shake it up. Like everybody that's all so wrapped up so tight. Just relax.
Yeah. Everybody just needs to let it go.
Yeah, relax. We're in a really, difficult political time, and it's kind of like everybody needs to relax. Just relax. He's getting excited. Okay, no. So anyway,
talking about political time, I want to talk to her about New Zealand too in a little bit.
Okay.
She has a trip to New Zealand because I want to move there.
Oh,
do you? Have you been there before?
I do. I have not, but I'm trying to get out of this country.
She wants to leave the country.
Yeah.
So okay.
I want to move there. Have you been there? No.
No. Okay, so everybody knows that not everybody. Well, I'm sure everybody does. This is like I didn't want to repeat your whole bio because I figure like you're like a presence. You're like the walking bio. Everybody knows who you are and your body of work, which has been wonderful.
That's very generous of you to think that.
Well, in my little world, yes, it is.
We all know.
Of course, my introduction to you, I don't know how you stumbled upon her, but was the nail video. Do you ever get tired of that? Do you ever get tired of people saying, okay, the nails, do the nail bit, and you're like, okay, that was 100 years ago. I have like a whole other body of work that
of course.
I mean, I go through my moments of where I'm so tired of this joke. And then I go to the point of like, man, what an honor it is that I have this joke, that so many people have found joy within this joke, that this joke reminds them of their road trip with their friend where they listen to it. This joke reminds them of their relationship with their mom because they go get their nails done together and whatever it may be. So there's sometimes when I do the joke at my show, I have so much joy still. 11 years later, I have so much joy.
Wow.
Yes. Bringing that joke to the crowd because I'm seeing people experience joy, and that's what it's about for me. So I'm like, that's why I'm doing this joke 11 years later. That's why I'm doing this joke 11 years later.
And and not to interrupt, but I feel like the joke is new to a lot of people. Like, because, people who heard it 10 years ago, then somebody comes to your show and hears it for the first time. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So the joke kind of like just
for sure.
It
reborns.
recreates
It's like this wonderful thing. And I was like, does she get tired of doing that?
Well, there's sometimes where I'm doing the joke, like I'm in the middle of the joke, but I'm thinking thoughts in my head where I'm like, wow, I am on my like 180th show this year. And I'm 11 years touring. How many times have I done this joke?
Do you put it in your show every
thousands
time?
and thousands. Yeah.
You do?
I have to. I can't not.
Well, I can imagine people are expecting it. Like that's the one. It's coming. It's coming.
You can't go to your favorite band and not hear.
Yes, that's very true. And then when you don't do it, we're in our feelings because like I paid top dollar and they didn't play my song. Yes, I get it. You're absolutely right.
If I go see John Bon Jovi and I don't even hear the music starting for "Shot Through the Heart," if you don't just give me that one part,
you're done.
I'm gonna be mad. If I go see Beyonce and I don't hear even just the background of "Single Lady," just give me one little single lady. You don't have to finish the whole song.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. You have to do something.
Okay, so did you always wanted to be a comedian? Or
No.
You need to watch her YouTube. I'm like, all these questions have been answered on her YouTube channel.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, pass.
No, I came to Hollywood to be an actress, and I'm still trying to be an actress.
Okay.
And I started telling jokes kind of like an accident, really. I took this joke writing stand-up comedy class at church, and then one of the first jokes I wrote was this nail salon bit, and it kind of blew up my spot. And then here I am today. Like, that's what took off for me.
Okay.
So it's like, I never imagined I would be a comedian. I didn't even know I was funny.
So you weren't funny when you were a young girl?
Yeah, I was, but so was my dad, so was my brother, so was my sisters.
So can we just talk about your Insta story, which for me is like reality show every day. It's her. You have to follow her on Instagram.
So maybe you're following her Insta story, and I'm all over her YouTube channel.
Yeah, there you go. Because I literally gives me life every single day. I'm like, okay, what's going on? What's going on? And what I love about it is that it's very real, relatable.
Yes.
Nothing is like
So
propped up. Nothing is like, okay, we're gonna do this now. Everybody like getting their best makeup, and it's like you get to meet her tia Mary, who I pray is doing better. You get to meet her mom. You get to meet her dad. You get to meet her nephew that we all love.
Oh my God, I can't
like
with him.
all these characters, they're like characters,
for
really.
sure.
I mean, but it's your life, and it's so relatable and so like I feel like I know her, and I like I feel like I'm a part of it. I get it. I get it.
Cool.
So it feels like a reality show.
Yeah.
Do you do that on purpose?
I mean,
and the dog,
yeah, it's
and
my
the new
own,
dog.
Thank you, my dog. I love him so much. It's my own reality show that I get to control.
Right.
I'm the star, the producer, the editor, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
fantastic.
I pick the filter.
Brilliant.
You know what I mean? It's so funny though, because you mentioned my dad. That you see my dad in my stories. He texted me the other day. And he doesn't live in LA, but he was here visiting a while. Then he went home, and then he sent me a text, and he goes, "Hey, what's those videos that you do like every day where it's just like a random thought that comes in your mind?" And I go, "What are you talking about?" "I'm trying to tell your cousin so and so about your videos that you do. Remember we were in the car that one time and we're at the red light, and then you pull out your phone and you started saying something?" And I go, "Oh, my Instagram stories? It's on Instagram, Dad. Just click my face and you can see them." He's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
I know he was wearing the cowboy boots, and he was going on an R&B concert.
Oh,
That was
girl.
I almost fell out. I was every like 15, 20 seconds is hilarious.
My dad, he's wearing his bolero tie, his cowboy boots, his cowboy hat. You think he's about to go to La Banda, just dun 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 dun. You think he's about to go get it because he's going out tonight dancing.
Oh my God.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm going dancing." I'm like, "Oh, okay, Dad, where are you going? La Banda?" He's like, "Nah, it's this R&B band." "R&B? Why are you wearing this?"
It was hilarious. I thought, no, he is not. He does not just say R&B. That was the funniest thing ever.
You know what? His birthday is coming up in a couple days, and I want to post that video on it so everyone can see it.
Yes, it
And
was
it's like
very good.
unintentional. He's just
Yeah,
unintentionally
that's just who they are.
hysterical.
I get my personality from my dad.
Okay.
My dad and my grandpa. They're jokesters. My dad is hilarious,
But you are very funny naturally.
Yes,
like
I
I think
think you
that
are.
there's
Thank
not
you.
much effort. I mean, I know that probably you didn't.
I think when I try to be funny, that's when I fail.
Epic fail.
Oh,
Don't do that.
No.
Like when I try, that's when it's like boom, 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 boom. But then I'm like, whatever, let me just do me, and then people start laughing.
Okay, so then we want to talk about your tour. You've been
let's
on
do
a
it.
tour all year,
Yes.
like a crazy tour that's taking you around the world. a
Around
little
the world. It's a
bit.
world tour.
Yeah.
Been
It's
around
called
the world
the-
now, yeah,
It's
yeah.
called the More of
I
Me
can
tour.
run my baby.
And you sing.
Do we need
Yeah.
to do we need to pay for royalties for that?
I know. We'll get to Bon Qui in a minute. Do you do Bon Qui in Australia? Are people expecting her to come out?
Bon Qui's on the back burner right now. She's
Is she-
she's on
is?
vacation.
Oh, is she really? Is
Yeah.
that on purpose?
Yeah.
Okay. But you were doing the Christmas music.
Yes. So that Christmas album came out 3 years ago, but every Christmas I still
Bring it out.
re-promote it and put it out there. But throughout the year, I'm not doing new stuff with her.
Okay. So because she's a big part of your comedy. Because we
The
saw
tour,
you.
yeah, the tour that we saw.
Yeah, we saw the tour that you did all
My
Bon
Bon
Qui
Qui show.
Yes.
Yes. So that was
yes.
like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, at
that
the
was
House
the
of
last
Blues.
time that I did.
No.
Yeah. So after that tour, then she kind of is on the back burner, and then I've just been focusing on my.
We saw the
my
retirement
hour.
of Bon Qui.
You did. You did. You saw the one. That was the retirement of Bon Qui and the House of Blues because it got torn
Yes,
down like a
Yes,
week later.
now it's in like rubbles, like on the ground.
Okay, so is she
So
like on the back burner for a reason, or are you working? Or
I want to do more things.
Mm-hmm.
I had so much fun with Bonquiqui, and I'm not saying I will never bring her back out. It just has to be a real good reason,
right,
to resurrect her and focus on her, because that's two different brands.
Yes.
I'm trying to focus on me,
Yes.
Anjelah Johnson, and work my brand.
So I'm just going to throw this out there. Bonquiqui meets Shanae.
From In Living Color?
No, Shanae from the Martin Show.
Oh, from Martin.
From Martin.
I was thinking Jamie Foxx's character.
Oh, no. Oh, Lord, no. But that would be a great trio, too.
That would be. That would be something.
Because Bonquiqui is like the Latina version of the Shanae.
Yeah.
Bonquiqui is just...
She's special all into her own.
Special.
Listen, if y'all don't know what we're talking about, then you need to get on your YouTube.
Bonquiqui is the alter ego of myself, and a lot of people come to find out.
Yeah. Because those are the things you think in your head and your attitude. Listen, I was yelling on the phone to Music Express, but I didn't say that out loud. So anyway, so you're doing this tour, more of Me Tour, and
international.
It's international. So tell us where you've been and where you're going, because I know you have dates still in December.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, my tour ends in June.
Yeah.
I go until June. So.
But I mean, for this year, you still have dates, right? That people could see in Pleasanton.
Pleasanton, that's my last one.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm there
for the
Christmas
year,
weekend and New Year's Eve weekend. I'm in Pleasanton at Tommy T's Comedy Club. And then come January, I'm in Maui.
Yes.
Honolulu.
Fly to Hawaii just to see you.
Come, girl, come. We're doing Hawaii. I'm doing Irvine, Miami, Chicago. Where else, Jackie? Miami, Chicago. Oh, Texas. I'm doing Dallas, Midland.
Here. This is your cheat sheet right here.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
San Diego, Chicago, Miami.
Oh, Miami,
Corpus
honey.
Christi, Austin, San Francisco.
Thank you.
See,
I forgot about all these cool places. Hey, listen, if I can't reach it front or back, I can't. I don't know what it is. If it's not last weekend or this weekend, I can't.
So how is this tour different from what, like, your Netflix specials and your
yes, which you have 4 of, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's that's like not
something
something to skip over or skate over. 1 hour specials.
Come
I
on.
mean, those are awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
4 of them.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it. That's a lot of hard work. It's
is.
a lot of stories. It's a lot of crafting. It's a lot of it's awesome that this is my work, that this is what I get to do for work. And this tour is called the More of Me Tour. Right. Because one, I'm just giving you more stories of me in my life. Like that's what all my hours have been. I have stories about me, stories about my life, my family, my husband, my siblings, my dad, my mom, my Tia Mary. It's me, my family, my life. So this is more of me. But it's also, I'm going deeper into me, and the past 4 hours have been a little surface. Like I stay on the surface, and this time I'm going a little deeper and giving you more of me.
Gotcha.
And it's my fears, it's the quirks about me that maybe is not cool for women to talk about sometimes. Like I talk about my stalker tendencies, and I'm sure
you stalk people.
My husband.
That's how she found
my husband.
That's how she found her.
But I feel like we try
Okay.
to portray ourselves as like, we're independent women.
we got
I
it
don't
together.
need.
I see what you're saying.
My man, he can go do whatever, and I'm just like, but listen, he could go do whatever, but I'm gonna track him on his phone while he do whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I talk about these things that I do, my insecurities and my fears, and like I talk about things that aren't like I don't know, so glamorous to talk about.
So I want to ask you, because on your Insta stories, everything's very real time. And obviously in comedy, you can control a little bit what you're going to say. Do you, in your Insta stories, are you afraid of oversharing? Because I know sometimes your husband's like, ugh.
Oh, yeah.
So is there a fear like, oh, I shouldn't have put that up?
Sometimes.
Oh, really?
There's sometimes where I've gone back and I've deleted stuff.
Okay.
There's times when I will tape something on Instagram and I'll just hold on to it for a second before I send it, before I go, yeah, everybody look at this part, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then there's times where I'm just like, whatever is out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the beauty of Instagram stories, is I get to control what I feel comfortable.
When you pull back, is it because you've gotten like negative feedback before, or you know it's affected someone or someone in your family in a negative way? So you're like, maybe I should.
It could. It's all of that. All of, you know, accidentally hurting people's feelings when you were trying to be funny.
Right.
And it's just that balancing act of you post it and then you realize, oh, this person was not happy about that, and then so you delete it and you try to learn going forward, like okay, and it's like a balancing act of you know, what can I post, what can I post, and all
because you want to be real, like you want to show like what's really going on and not like super censor, but have to be mindful too.
For sure. And especially if there's any kids involved, I always ask my friends like, hey, can I post this?
Yeah.
For sure.
And
that makes sense.
a lot of times they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I'll be like, no. It's different when you post on your page.
Right.
Can I post this on my page?
Yes, because you have random people making
Yes.
comments about your kids.
Yes.
Listen, that happened a couple years ago. That was the whole reason why I got on Instagram. Remember our Disneyland trip that we had?
There's a few people.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
we went
yes.
with some very famous people, and he put our kids' images on his Instagram, and we weren't aware.
And I was like,
it just
have
got
you
a little
lost
weird.
your
Yeah,
damn mind?
yeah,
I was a little irritated.
yeah.
Yeah, and there's people that I won't tag on Instagram. I will never put my mom's screen name, my sister's screen name. Every now and then I'll tag my sister and I'll like make it real small just because I want it to come in her feed, but I'm hoping like people won't see. Just because I don't want people, they're just gonna go find them just to stalk and friend requests or whatever it is, and certain of my friends that I know are more private, like they don't mind being on my story, but I just won't put their name where people can go
come look
find
that
them.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And then there's my other friends that are like, yeah, girl, tag me.
They get all offended.
Why didn't you tag me?
Yeah, exactly.
They're getting their feelings. How come you didn't tag me?
I know. Listen, I was hurt with my son this morning because he didn't like a picture on my Instagram. I was like, you never like my pictures. He's like, okay, like
funny.
Oh my gosh. Leave him alone.
Yes, I was in my feelings about that.
Yeah, I tag my brothers. I won't tag my sister. It'll be like at my brother, and just be like, my sister.
Oh.
She don't get tagged. I don't need no fools trying to find my sister.
Well, especially because she has a beautiful baby boy. I mean, he's not a baby, but she has a beautiful young boy.
so
And
bad.
you don't need all that drama.
So that's good to know. So we've watched your specials. So now we need to do your tour because now we're getting more. Now we're finding out more about you. We're going to get more in your comedy. We're going to get like more inside scoops. So what's the difference then between that and your YouTube channel? I want to talk about your YouTube channel because
listen. I do want to say something. Is this the one you're talking about with her husband?
Well, it's like there's a whole bunch of different stuff.
Oh, okay.
on
See,
there.
I'm all
so, like,
lost in the
she
sauce.
has her whole, like, her and her husband, they have their own, like, little segments.
Yes.
Then she has one with her best friend. And then, like, girl, you need to.
No, but the channel has. Okay, no, I'm not lost because the channel includes all that.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I've seen it.
has
I've
all
seen
the
it because I
different
watched the
videos.
one with you and your husband. You talked about finances, and it was really good. I actually learned a couple of things.
good.
Yeah, I had some takeaways. I was like, I like that. I think I'm gonna incorporate that in my life.
Oh, good.
Yes, I had some really
you learn it on my
Yes,
page.
I learned something about my money.
What you did.
This year we decided to revamp my YouTube because I haven't been active on YouTube. Like I'll post a video here and there, but I haven't been consistent with YouTube. So this year we're like, you know what? Let's actually be more consistent with YouTube. And we've come up with different series ideas. So I have different series that I do. AJ on the Road is my most consistent one, which is a docu-series into my life on the road. And it's everything from morning press to going to eat, meeting fans, to anxiety, to what it's like in the green room, what it's like during sound check, and crazy fans trying to sneak into the green room.
That
and
was hysterical.
just it's just I invite people into so you can really feel like you're on the road with me and what it's like to be a comedian on the road. At least in my circle,
Right.
because every comedian travels differently.
Yeah.
And this is how I travel. It's very family. Everybody on my team is family.
Nice.
It's we travel together, and we're friends. We do friendship. We go eat together. It's very family.
Yeah.
So that's,
because you got to keep it tight. You got to keep it close. You know what I mean? Like, I
It's
feel like
like-
when you have people around you, you need to be able to trust them, like family.
100.
You know?
Yes.
And you can't
So-
just have anybody around. you.
Okay.
So I feel like it's
I'm
sorry. I just feel like it's in addition to your Insta stories. I feel like it's a
Yeah.
little bit extra.
Yeah.
Like your Insta story, you're getting like the boom, 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 and then
See,
it's
all
gone.
day, every
And then the YouTube channel is
Well,
like
the Insta story is me, like this. I'm talking to
Right.
you. I'm here in the green room, and then my AJ on the road is the camera over there capturing me
It's like the wrap
with,
up.
you know what I mean? So it's not from my point of view. It's from this point of view that I get to be a
Okay.
part of.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I think it's
Okay.
great. I think
Well,
it's like a little package.
Yeah, I will look
little bow.
into it a little more because at night I do YouTube. I'm so tired. I'm like, okay, what's
Yeah.
going on? And the people but I am
But
subscribed to
story,
it.
yeah, Insta stories are really great because then you
Oh,
can
they're
just see
hysterical.
like
They just give me a little
which-
lift for the day. I'm
it's
like,
like
what is going
it's
on
like
over
a
there?
free comedy show. I almost feel like
Yes.
should we pay you?
I know. We
It's
should
so funny.
It should be sponsored, and we have to pay to see the Insta stories because it's like a little pick me up. I'm like, what is she doing? So I want to ask you, being a Latina in this industry, number one, being a woman in comedy, number two, do you have things like issues that you have to navigate for gigs, for bookings, or for auditions, just by nature of being Hispanic and by nature of being Latina?
Sure.
The doors open or close?
Both. I mean, it depends. Every situation's different. I mean, so being a comedian, touring on the road, in the beginning of my career, when not as many people knew who I was, if it's a guy's name on the marquee and you're on a date night with your wife and you're walking past this comedy club and you see some guy's name on there, and you're like, oh, I don't really know who that is, but we have free time. You want to go check out a show? Like, I feel like they would be more inclined to walk into the comedy club if it said Joe Schmo up there performing all weekend. But if they were walking by and there's a woman's name up there, I feel like people feel differently about that. It's different now. But it's still a challenge. But when I was first starting, it was definitely... it's a guy's world. Stand-up comedy is a guy's world. But I think when Chelsea Handler came out with Chelsea Lately and she did her panel, and every week, every day, she would feature comedians. There was always females.
Yeah.
I think what she did for females in stand-up is amazing. And
awesome.
I am incredibly grateful for what she did, because not just for those particular females that when they get to chime in and say funny things about the topic, and they're like, okay, and also, you know, Fortune's going to be performing at such and such comedy club this weekend. You can get tickets, da-da-da-da-da. What she did was highlighted funny women, so that when you're in
good.
Dayton, Ohio, and you're walking past in that scenario I just gave, and you see this woman's name on there, you may be more inclined to give it a shot because you're like, oh, I saw 3 funny women on Chelsea Lately last night, so this girl might be good. Let's go give her a shot.
Yeah.
So that was the beginning of my career,
Okay.
when not too many people knew my name and who I was. And now I'm so grateful and so lucky that I do have a very loyal following.
Yes.
But there's still markets where I'm not huge.
Wow.
And like the Northeast, I cannot pull numbers in the
York?
Northeast. Nah, girl.
Really?
I mean, I did.
I was gonna say Maine, like maybe not
No,
in Rhode
New
Island.
York.
Like I did Caroline's on Broadway, did really well. We had full shows the whole weekend. I think we did 4 or 5 shows, and that was probably the best weekend I've ever done in New York, and it's my 6th time headlining in New York, and that was my best weekend, and we did full shows for like 5 shows. And then you go to Houston and I do 16 full show. You know what I mean? Like it's just so different in different markets. So I'm grateful that more people know who I am, but not everybody does. You know what I mean?
Now, do you
need
think?
to go to New York more, girl?
I know, or how about Boston and
Boston I do well, but like
Okay.
Connecticut. Hello, Connecticut, are you there? My name is Anjelah. I'm a comedian. If I ever come to your town, please come see me.
I'm gonna have to tag some people in Connecticut, be like, come on, people. I'm from the East Coast, so that's why I'm like, what? And I know my friends love you so much that I'm like, I mean, it's my friends. It's not like I'm a million people.
Right.
It's like you're going to their living room and doing a show. It's not. No, it's not that. But how about being Latina? When because I know you do when pilot season kicks in, you always do all these auditions. Are the auditions that you're going to, are they for just character actress roles, or they're specific for Latinas, or like what are they looking for? Do you just go for everything?
You know what? Both. Sometimes you get to the audition and I walk in and there's 15 Latinas sitting there, and you're like, okay,
and it's always the same group.
This is I've made good friends with my fellow auditioners.
I know.
And you walk in and you have 15 other girls that look just like you, and then other times it's a very diverse room, and that's usually when they're like, okay, this role needs to be ethnic. You know what I mean? Like she could be Asian, Latina, Black, whatever, just ethnic, right? So there's those situations, and then every now and then I find myself the in case we go another direction girl, where I walk in and it's a whole room of Black girls, or it's a whole room of white girls, and then me, and I'm like, oh, I'm the one that they're like, in case we go in another direction, here's this.
My
How do we feel about Latina?
Have you done a serious role? Because I know you. What movie? I'm sorry. My ignorance.
The Resurrection of Gavin Stone.
Oh, okay. Yes, I saw that on your Insta story.
Yes, and I would love to do more. Like, I love that.
Do you feel like they peg you into that role? I mean, that's an obvious question because you're a comedian. They're like, oh, you can only do comedy.
Sure. I think that's what people know me for, so that's what they can see me as, which is fine. I'll take more comedy roles. Give me more comedy roles then.
Right.
But I love doing the dramatic stuff. I love being real and honest. Like, my comedy is real and honest. So I would love, I think one dream of mine is I want to do a one-man show where I share my story. And I've done in churches before where I'm able to be where I'm not doing a set. I'm not doing stand-up. I'm here to share my story, how I got to where I am. And in that story, it's a journey. It's a roller coaster. I take you real high, we laugh, and then I bring you down real low, and we cry, and then we go up, and we go through all the journey of my life. And I would love to do something like that in a one-man show type situation. Like, that's a dream of mine that I would love to work on in this coming year. So
that would be I was just going to ask you if there was anything left that you felt like I want to fulfill. Because I mean, I'm sure
so many things.
Yeah, I'm like, for all of us, there's always something that you go, oh, next year or in 10 years or in 5 years is what I want to do. But for you to say that, that's pretty amazing. That must be really, really good.
Yeah,
I would love to share that with people. I think people would walk away.
Have you taped that? Have you filmed that? Have you ever filmed it?
Me like speaking at women's conferences and churches and stuff like that?
Well, doing that one woman show where you say it's like up and down, like.
Yeah, well, that's more when I do like a speaking engagement. I've not produced out a one woman show yet. That's the dream, is to make my speech that I give at women's conferences, at youth groups, at whatever I've been brought to come and inspire and make laugh.
Right.
I would love to take that speech and make that into a one woman show.
What would you tell young Anjelah? 13-year-old Anjelah with the crazy brows. Because I've seen those pictures. Because you're so brave to put them up.
Yes.
You are brave, girl.
I know.
Brave and funny.
That's me. Those pictures, that's like my pride. That made me who I am today.
I know.
I wish I had more to share with people. Well, I would tell 13-year-old Anjelah, that was a tough time for me. I was very much figuring out who I was. I was very conflicted with who I was. I was very obsessed with the chola culture, with the gang culture, with that going down the wrong path. Like, that was intriguing to me. Like, I knew at that season in my life, I knew the things that I was doing was wrong. I knew the people that I was hanging out with were no good. It was trouble, and I knew, but I wanted it. Like I wanted that life. Like that's the life that I thought I wanted. Like like I'm down for my homies, whatever. So 13-year-old Anjelah, I would tell her, slow your roll.
You took that right out of here. Slow down, girl.
Slow your roll. And I would just remind 5-year-old Anjelah, 8-year-old Anjelah, 13-year-old Anjelah, 20-year-old Anjelah, 25-year-old Anjelah, I would tell the same thing. It gets so much better.
Yeah.
It gets good.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if I were that young and I got to see myself today looking in my eyes, telling me it's going to get real good, I feel like that would be so hopeful for those times when I was depressed, when all of that. I feel like to hear older me tell me that, I would be like, yeah, I would make better decisions. You know what I mean? Like I would be hopeful. And ultimately at the end of the day, that's what we all need is just hope for our lives.
Yeah, that it's going to get better or it's going to change. Yeah,
I know. I like
Look
that.
at you.
I feel inspired.
I
I know. I'm going to tell 13-year-old Annette that. Okay, so as always, we've run out of time.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to share?
Well, I did want to ask her, are there any inspiration? Is there anybody that inspired you?
Yeah.
Like, is there anybody that you pull from or like, you know, that you are like, oh, that comedian is female or male?
Yeah, I get inspired by different people for different reasons. I'm multifaceted. So there's in comedy, the people who inspired me in the beginning, Ellen DeGeneres and George Lopez. Those are my comedian inspirations. I love Brian Regan, his storytelling. But Ellen DeGeneres and George Lopez were definitely the comedians who inspired me to do stand-up. And then different people inspire me for other different reasons. Different women inspire me to encourage each other, to love other women, to support each other.
Yes.
My parents have inspired me in different ways, you know. So many different people. The comedians that open for me inspire me because to see their hustle and their grind and their constant like working to get to where I am reminds me that I can't coast and get comfortable. You know what I mean? So they inspire me to keep hustling, keep working, you know? People like Kevin Hart inspire me, like his work ethic. Like he's like, you know, no rest, no sleep, you know, and like people like that inspire me to work hard and keep dreaming and there's so many different people inspire me for so many different reasons.
Well,
That's
you
awesome.
have truly been an inspiration.
I
would say to us today. Thank you so much.
Yes.
The very talented, smart, beautiful Anjelah Johnson. We thank you so much.
Yes, and go check out her tour. It's still going through June. And go to Anjelah.com.
Yeah, Anjelah.com. All the information
It's
there.
on all our social media. It's on our on our Facebook Live. It's on our website. So check it out. Just click on it and you'll get all the information you need because she's coming to a city near you.
That's right.
We're going to get her in New York.
That's right.
And Connecticut.
In Connecticut. I'll give you one more shot.
Hey, we hope you have been informed, educated, and I know you've been entertained. Have a great rest of your week. Catch you Monday, another live show. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.